I'm just wetting my paper. All of it. No, not all of it. Just in this sky bit. It's a gorgeous day again. But I'll tell you now, I'm not playing marbles with Doofus in garden because I'm just sick of it. It gets on my nerves. I've got hardly any left because when you lose your marbles. And Doofus has won most of mine. He's won all my dobbers. It's a crap game anyway. I'm sick on it. I'm not bothered about it. If he wants to play marbles, he can play it on his own. It's a rubbish, stupid game. So, the shop playing marbles with Doofus. Not a chance. Yeah, he just keeps giggling and laughing, thinking he's clever. Keeps winning them all the time. Sick on it. Thinks he's clever, thinks he's funny, and he's not neither. So, I'm not playing it today because it's a rubbish game anyway. There we are. That's sort of, I think they call that a gradiated wash. So it starts yellow, goes into red, goes into purple, goes into blue. In fact, to tell you what I might. No, I'll just leave it. That's alright as it is. Right, so that done. Right now, where's, I think I'll have, if I can find it, let's have a big spiky brush. Yeah, this one. You can dry your Hake brush up and bat it end up. It was spiky, but I've got this brush, so I might as well just use this. It's a good brush, it's a brilliant brush. So this has just got spread out bristles. It just gives a nice effect like that one. I think I'll just put one of them like that down here, around here. Actually gets a bit duller down there, but there we are. Pop that in like that. Don't worry too much. And I think let's go into some ready brown. So I've got some light red, that's a ready brown colour. And I think I'm going to get a quick scrape across my Bontumber and even a tiny bit of Payne's Grey and just try it, see what happens. So that's 1, 2, and all that bit there. Put a bit more Bontumber and some purple in it. That bit there, that's it. That's enough for that. And then on the card, rocks. These are rocks. Actually, I've got a big card. Yep. The big one there. That's one great big one. There we are. That'll do for that. Right. Get it to dry. Hike brush, whatever you call it. Right, so I think what I'll do, I'll mix up that purple and the blue. And some of the red and all. And then mix it in with a bit of Payne's Grey, a bit of burnt umber as well. So I've got all sorts on here. come in. All these edges. And I'm altering my colours quite often. Oh, in fact, I probably don't need to go right down there. A bit of burnt umber in there. Oh, that looks nice. I've even dabbed some of that yellow in there. Some purple in there. Bit of that red. Right, now then. I think I'm going to do now. Get one big blob of colour. Blue, purple, and burnt umber. I think I'm going to use a tiny bit of Payne's Grey as well. It's all on this brush. The brush is fairly dry, fairly splattered apart. So. To here, and this is where it's all breaking up and coming into snow. I'm just going in direction of what everything's going, if you know what I mean. So like all this stuff's all coming down like this. Actually, there's a bit that comes down there like that. And all these bristles in my brush, they're sort of doing the job for me. There we are. That comes around there. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'm not playing marbles with Doofus, my stepbrother. I'm sure he's cheating and he's giggling. He's being a right plank. So in the end yesterday I just says, right, I've had enough of this. I'm not playing anymore. And then he come round mithering round me, doing me head in, wanting to pickle some onions. So, well, I say pickle onions. I pickled some onions. Doofus pickled his marbles, didn't he? I don't know. Why you'd pickle your marbles, I don't know. But that's what he did. I think what I might do is just wet this. Just wet it in places. Try and get a few scrapes with my card. Give me a nice rocket effect. That's nice. Perhaps down on these bottom bits might be a good place to get it wet a bit. and scrape a bit. Well, if I dip my card in some water and scrape it, maybe that'll work a bit. There we are anyway, that's some snowy mountains, that'll do. Right, now then, I think I'll get now purple and the blue again. So really bluey purple, and then I'm mixing that in some green. Well, I've just got some green mud in bottom of my palette. Right, coming in now, this is really, really dark. These are my trees. So these are like purples and blues, varying it round and mixing it. Into this really dark green colour. Right, I'm going to do that. Get this spiky brush. I think I'm just going to do for this burnt umber and Payne's grey. Just literally. In fact, I'll go into a bit of that blue as well. Burnt umber and blue and Payne's grey all together. And I'm going to just get round the edge of this, look, round the edge of all these bushes here where it's spiky. Yeah. And then I'll just blend that in a bit. That. Down here is a bit spiky. Anywhere where it's a bit spiky. Down to about there, I think, is on spiky. And then after that, same colour but on my hacky brush, or my height brush, and just this bit's more like that. So I'll just pop that in a bit more like that. Same here, down here, it's gone a bit more like that. That's it. That's enough. Right, now then. Put some more green on my brush. And just pop in, there's some treetops about here. Set another one there. Oh, it's quite a few big ones here. Something like this. And they're all sort of got that sort of effect on them. Oh yeah, I'm telling you about Doofus one time, what he's been up to. Yeah, so we decided, right, we're going to pickle. He's going, can we pickle some, is it pickling time? He keeps going, is it pickling time? Is it pickling time? So I says, yeah, it's pickling time. See it all, just while I'm at it, see how that ends all battered up, look. Let me just show you on some scrap paper. It'll do this, look. You can see that. It'll do that exactly the same as that. So you don't need a separate brush is what I'm trying to say. I've just got one, so I thought I may as well use it. And that's what that brush was designed for, so I just thought I'd use it. But yeah, you don't need one. Now I'm going to stick some more green into that. It's virtually in silhouette, all this stuff. So I'm going to stick some more green in and just build it up. And there we are. Yeah, that's pretty good, I think. Something like that. And then, let's have a look. See if I can get some of these to look slightly more pine tree-ish effect. So I can go, that's it, that one. So let's say a tiny bit more water to chisel my brush. Just to chisel the brush, that one there, from there, very big in there like that one. And just take them ends up. One more there like that. That's that. Let's make that into two great big things. I think it's one. Looks like it's one. Maybe there's two there. I don't know. There, well, something like that. That looks alright, I think. Hopefully. So, there. So that's that. Now then, there's a great big bush here. I'll do it with this brush just to show you. Oh, sorry. Right, do it with this brush just to show you that you can do it with this brush. So, I've got purple, dark blue, Payne's grey, black, there's all sorts in this brush, and then a lot of green. So this is in silhouette. And, just look at the end of that, how it's all, can you see it, how it's all battered up, look, all spiky. And you can put this tree in. With that end, look. Goes up there like that. There's a bit comes like there. Like I'm trying to do it similar to the one on the picture. Just you ain't got to do it anything like the one on the picture if you don't want. But the one on the picture does look quite good, so I've copied it. Right, I think I'll fill in this middle bit with a nice blobs of this purple, and then some of that blue, and then some of this bright green colour as well, instead of just blocking it all in with Payne's grey and black. Just looks a bit better, and it's because it's so dark it still looks virtually silhouetted, just makes it a bit more interesting. There we are. Looks pretty good. Right, now then, just got this area to build up and we're done. So right, see what we can do. So spiky brush again still. I use this brush just so I can show you again. It's in there like that. Into there. Into there. Like that. And then it sort of comes back to the light. Lighter stuff in there. Right. I'll just wet my brush a bit more now. Pop in some bits and bobs in and around the place. And then around these rocks and stuff. Now actually if I work fast in here I might be able to get some nice effects, some scrapes and stuff. So I've gone into Payne's grey and blue now, and I'll do a few low lights in here. Just a few low lights and stuff into some of them grasses and that. Let's see, just chisel this brush a bit. Let's see, make it look a bit more like a rock. I'll do some more of that red in. There's a lot of red in these rocks, so I'll stick a bit more of that red in. I think I'm going to have to give these another scrape. Give them another scrape, keep them looking a bit like rocks. So there we are. Some more rocks in there. Get this brush. Chuck a few grasses in, look. That's supposed to be grasses and rocks. There, I think I'll squeeze that brush out now. And get some lighter colours in. Go back into the yellow. Pop some yellows in. In fact, I'll have some of this. Blend it all in. Get all up nice. There we are, got some yellows. Now, what I'm going to do, batter end of this in on the hand, like that. Pick it back in yellows, and do that look. Spiky brush again. Like I say, I only use my other spiky brush because I've got it. You got it, you may as well flaunt it. Let's have a look. I've gone to a darker green now. Blend some of that in. It's ideal if you can walk light to dark. Looks a bit better. There we are, darker green. Let's try some of them reds in there. Seems as they're in the other bit. A couple of them reds. That'll really dull this green down with some of these reds. But they're in here, so put a few bits in here and all. There we are. And then let's go for some really dark greens. So let's mix that in. Some green. Let's try green and Bontumber. Oh, that's looking nice. Oh, that's lovely. That's some really dark greens there. Batter this end up again. Stick it in there. There we are. Then back into some lighter greens while my end of my brush is battered up, and just stick them in as well. And you can put some little grasses in if you want in places. Like I say, if you go mad with this, it not look that good. Put in there. There we are. Back to me. Right. Yeah, so anyway, back to Doofus, what he's been up to. He's gone on and on and on. Oh, let's pickle some onions, pickle some onions. So he's not pickled onions, he's gone and pickled his marbles, right? You know, the big dobbers, he's pickled them. And then he started prattling about, pretending that he's eating them, right? So he's pretending to be eating them. He's only gone and swallowed one, hasn't he? What a prat. So, I don't know what's happening. He seemed to be alright, he swallowed it. But don't try it at home, by the way. But he swallowed it, and I don't know what's going to come of him. I don't know. An idiot. Absolute idiot. Right, let me just stand back and have a look at that. I don't know what I think of it. It's looking, does just look a bit messy. Looks a bit messy. Let's try and blend some of this a bit. This bit's looking a bit messy to me. I'm try and soften some of these edges a bit. So I'm thinking if I soften and maybe scrape a bit as well, maybe that'll look better. Yeah, I think that looks better. It's gradually breaking into that snow, isn't it? So if I do that, then maybe there's a bit more of that as well. Always have a look, because something what looks rubbish in a minute, when I've messed about, might look good. Cause I don't know what I don't like about it. There's something what's not looking good. So maybe I can alter it. Now, I think what I'm going to do with this, scrape this one up that way. Up that way. That's it. Definitely looking better with this softer effect. It's definitely working. I don't know if this scraping's working. I don't think it is. So I'll dry my brush and just soften up with my brush. Yeah, that's working. Something like that. That bit, same again. Just soften up with my brush. So if it's working, I can dab with my dabber. It's just bringing me some lighter bits. And then I'm thinking, maybe it's in these bits here what look a bit solid. Maybe I can pull out a few lighter bits in there. see if that'll help. I think I'll just dab them bits. Is that any better? Not really at all. Let's have a look. Let's try that. I just want it to look more like a snowy mountain. For some reason it's not. Get that bit there. Soften some of these bits in, look. Not all of them, I'm going to leave some hard edges and grab some soft edges, so I'm still leaving some hard edges as well. Nearly done, let's have a look. That's looking a lot better to me, I think. Some soft edges in there, look. Better. I think what I'm going to do, mist out some of this bit down here. There we are, missed out some of that. Should look better. I'll stand back in a minute and see what I think. Soften some of that. I'll tell you what, if you're doing yarn, if you soften this bit before you put them trees in, that'll work better. I didn't know till I stood back and looked that I wanted to soften it. So if you do that first, it'll look better. I'm nearly done, a bit more. Don't worry if it's damaging your paper, see bits of paper coming off. Don't worry about that, that don't matter. There. Let me stand back and out. On my photo, it's solid all around here. And I think that's where it is. Probably should have had some bits of white in there and all to make it more convincing. But I've just gone same as photo. So that might tell you, don't always just copy your photo. Well, that's looking better. I suppose what I could do now, what have I done with that brush there? What I could do now, try this brush. I could, let's try this. Get some designer's white gouge and just scrape in a few little bits there, look, where it's a bit blocky. That's it. So by the time you've done, you can always rescue something. That's better, isn't it? That looks better. There we are. That's better. Right, let me stand back and have a look. See what I think of that. That mountain looks a lot better now. Yeah. I think I might put a bit of a let's put a bit of a branch in there. Make it more interesting. A bit of a branch in here. Something like that. This isn't in my photo, I'm just putting this in because I thought it'd look good. That's not in my photo. So that's that. Same again. This isn't in my photo either, but I'm going to come in and just pop in some extra grasses. It's not this grassy in my photo, but I just think it needs a bit of something, so stick some extra grasses in on this bit here. Well, I tell you what you can do. This is a good little trick. See this dark bit here? You can use that up under this. So you get some little grasses in there, look. Oh, give me some little grasses down there. There we are. That's made it a little bit more interesting. Right, get a signature on it. Let's pop it there. Boy. Not enough paint on my brush. Start again. Boy. There I'll go over it. Boy. D. That stands for Bertie D. Right. We'll see how Doofus is today, if it's affected his health swallowing a marble. If it hasn't affected his health, I still wouldn't suggest swallowing a marble. Seems like a really stupid thing to do. I'll show you what you can do. Look down here, look. You can do that same thing. What's in that other one? Use that. Or some blades of grass, look. That's called, because I'm going into there and making my blades of grass look light in front of the thing, to the darks, that is called negative painting. Really, really effective technique. So, let's take it all the way up there, look. And then soften it off up that side. Soften it off into there, look. And it looks like you've painted that on top of that. It's called negative painting. Really effective technique there for you. In it. Right. I'm telling her, right, if you've enjoyed watching that half as much as I've enjoyed painting it, then you'll have enjoyed it twice as much as me. Is that right? If I've... I don't know. See you on beach.